Warning.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio. 7 Mile Radio.
Warning.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio. 7 Mile Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, your host, Mr. Detroit. On the Detroit stand-up, Mark, you good over there?
Yeah, I'm good.
Ladies and gentlemen, your host, Mr. Detroit, on the Detroit stand-up podcast. Church hugs and high fives. How you feel over there?
I am wonderful. How are you?
I'm real good with your trilogy of books
Oh
that
my-
you got.
It is more than a trilogy. I just read number 6 in one series, and this is number 1 in the second series.
So you got a little bit more to go, huh? How many books is it?
I think it's 5 books to the new series.
Oh my goodness. They might just turn into a movie too.
I know I want them to because
I
I
was
already
just
picked
gonna
the
give you the idea.
actors.
Tip,
I already
tip,
picked
I
the
was just playing.
actors.
I was
No,
just
I
playing.
already picked the actors. It's too late.
I was just playing, man.
No, you wasn't.
Man, was I?
No, you wasn't.
I was just playing with that. That's an interesting book. So
Don't make it sound like that. Don't make it sound like my book wasn't lit.
hey, the book put you through some drama and everything. So
So listen. So Why You Playing is Ethic by Ashley Antoinette, and if you like that kind of shit, it's perfect. And I do. So
okay, all right, I got you. How your week, Tiff? Mind me asking.
oh no, not at all. My week has been awesome. Yeah.
Besides the rain and all that,
I don't give a damn about the rain. I don't
Okay.
go nowhere.
you don't go nowhere.
No, I'll be in the house.
Oh, okay.
Hey G.
Got you. Yesterday, didn't nobody know the Lions draft picks was yesterday. They fucked the draft picks up like they normally do. People got mad, Tiff. You feel like what? I don't really
got
care.
mad?
The fans, because they supposed to pick number 6. They moved from number 6 to 12 to see if they can get a better pick, and they picked a running back from Alabama. That was cool. And then number 18, they picked a white boy that looked like a sales rep from out of Iowa. And so, I first thing I looked at the 2 picks, I'm like, okay, the running back I give a pass, but the other dude, I'm not giving a pass. And I looked at him and was like, they going 7 and 10, real quick, like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell do that mean? 7 and 10.
They gonna win. They gonna win
miles,
7 games.
and then
and
they
lose
gonna
10.
lose 10 miles.
They gonna lose 10. So a lot of people call me a hater and everything. But what I came to realize out of the Lions trilogy of what they've been doing, which is trash for the last couple years, actually 10 years, 15 years.
Trash.
Mark, I need you to help me with this, man. Next year, their the NFL draft is in Detroit. Just roll with me, Mark. Roll with me, Mark. I need to
I
be
know what
down
you
there.
thinking, Mark.
I need to be down there hosting. Whatever city they come to.
Maybe it's what I'm thinking, because you know what I be thinking
I was
every
just about to
time
say,
we talk
Dave,
about
I'm
sports.
not about to have no kind of hand.
I'm
if
saying,
you're going down there
listen to me,
and
Mark.
acting a damn fool.
This will be
I cannot-
epic right here. Me not really caring about the Lions and don't give a damn about the Ford family.
The Ford family, the whole
Me
family.
getting on stage, because whatever city they go to, they always have somebody from their hometown announcing their pick, whatever pick it is. So between 1 and 32. So say the Lions is like 10.
I'm about to fall asleep. What are we talking about? Why we always got to talk about sports and you know I don't know shit about sports?
I'm trying to help you out.
What is it helping me do?
All you gotta do is
It's
just
not gonna
listen.
help me get a husband.
Tiff, when is the next draft, Tiff? It's next
It's every year.
No. The next draft in 2024 is in Detroit, Tiff.
Right.
So I need to host that. I need to get on stage and announce the Lions
somebody come get
draft
him.
pick. That's all I'm
Please.
saying. Disrupt everything. That's the draft for 2024, and Tiff gonna be on the sideline rooting, telling me like, "Yay, go!" and all that type of
But
stuff.
ain't gonna know shit that you talking about.
I just need
it
you
don't
just
matter.
stand there.
I just say yay.
Just stand there.
I got you.
Pull your book up and just stand there and read your book like you do.
Oh.
You
Like I
into
care.
it. Yeah, there you go.
Because I do.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. Thank you, Mark, for helping me. Are y'all familiar with this? And maybe I'm new to this. AI.
Yes.
How they have it set up now where, and I didn't like the way the rapper was. Did you see the guy when he was on Mad when he was talking about it?
No, I just seen a couple of examples about it. I seen one particular that you would probably hate.
Walmart.
No, it was a white guy who was rapping with the voice of Kendrick Lamar.
There you go.
Oh, that's inappropriate.
But it was an Asian dude that said that he was saying this.
Or are allegedly
Probably
has
been
a
doing-
hand in taking their artists out for the sake of insurance
money.
Right? So now you can still own these artists' likenesses and still put out brand new music that's unheard, right? With their voice, with production, it sounds like it's really them, right? And they can be long gone, right? So we can come back now, and now we can reincarnate Michael Jackson and Tupac and all of the rest of these people, and then put out brand new music with their actual voice that sounds like them.
Low key, I thought they did it with Shine with B.
I thought they did
I
it too.
swear to goodness. Well, listen, when Shine came out, I was like this. Oh, they got new Biggie music, and I didn't know.
Well, I believe that beat was actually made for Biggie. You know what I'm saying? But
he sounded like Biggie.
He found someone distinctively to fit that sound.
Yeah.
But whole another case in point, another story. It's just like, yeah, that's crazy now because now they can, build up a brand and take them out and still make money off of them. You know what I mean? It's not even like, okay, you can own your rights and your publishing and all of that. You know what I mean? And we're still just going to own you and still put you out and continue to make as much money off you that we want.
And it's like you can even the Asian dude that I seen he typed in he was doing a documentary. He typed in Donald Trump. AI did a documentary, like all you did was Donald Trump documentary, and AI pulled up a whole documentary of Donald Trump. So now you can go to it and do it and put it out there, and you don't even have to come up with an idea. And I was talking to my daughter about this, and she was like, I'm like, beautiful, you know how it's making you don't even think, or it's making you like not being
you don't have to be creative anymore
at all.
You don't have to have ideas. You don't have to think about the shit because somebody else is doing it for you.
And I'm like, that ain't soulful. And so I think what's gonna happen is it's gonna be people doing that, but I don't think it's gonna resonate with the soul. Now it's still gonna sell, it's still gonna do what it's do, but when you got somebody writing lyrics from the soul versus somebody.
So, the same thing that you're talking about is what a lot of artists, like people who draw, was talking about when that craze just happened with the AI photos. And they was turning them into paintings. And people was like, well, this just takes me, this kills my craft. Because it's like now people can just make an AI painting of themselves. Know who's going to buy a hand-drawn painting of themselves.
I would rather have a hand-drawn painting.
I mean, people who appreciate art, right? But some people may look at it, I like this one. I just like it better because it's, the graphics of it.
But can't
it's
you,
all 3D and, stuff like that. So, when you contrast that to all different arenas of industry, I mean, they have even
anime.
They have AI script writers for if you wanted if you needed a grant writer, right, or business proposals. They have AI apps that can write your whole script, which is somewhat of a good thing sometimes, but at the same time, it kind of takes all of the or like
the
people
human out of it.
Or even like an AI resume writer for you, right? People that does that by profession, they looking like, well, damn, now I'm out of a job. I'm out of a job.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of what's going on now is kind of leaning towards a whole lot of people being out of a job due to AI, artificial intelligence, whatever. Just in case y'all didn't know, we talking about artificial intelligence.
Right.
And I'm kind of with G on this, and it's cool until that shit get too smart.
Yeah.
And we gonna be in the Terminator situation. That's kind of how I feel at this point. We
Yeah.
gonna be in the Terminator situation, but I think a lot of that is kind of going towards like what we're teaching these kids in school or not teaching them. The fact that most of these kids are not going to be able to write their names in cursive.
Oh,
Like they gonna be writing X's.
Let me go ahead. I'm listening.
No. Go ahead.
So what really messed me up was this the other day. I was at I was at work and they asked me to write my name. And this was last week, and Tiff, I wrote my name, and it wasn't the handwriting of Miss Shackelford. Usually, David has some hell of a handwriting. I've been told like I'm a great writer, like because I used to have a calligraphy set, and I used to always just write my name, and I made cards and sold them for $5. I wrote my name in cursive. And it didn't feel right, and I'm looking like, and I missed the D. You know how I curved D. I'm like, this shit don't right. This shit ain't right. So the next day, before I go to bed, I was writing my name, and so my wife like, what are you doing? I'm like, I got to get familiar with doing that because, like, when the last time you wrote your name in cursive, Tiff?
Oh, well, I deal with my kids and I sign documents, so I write my name in cursive.
Because I can't think the last time. The last time I wrote my name in cursive might have been like 2-3 months ago.
Yeah. Usually the only time you see it now is on birthday cards, which is kind of sad.
I got to start writing more.
Listen, Amari was frustrated. So I went to parent teacher conference for Amari, and his teacher is like, he's so smart. And I'm like, oh yeah, of course, whatever. And then she was like, but I have no idea what he's writing. And then you think about it, Amari went from being homeschooled, where all their work was done on computer.
Right.
And then he goes to school. The first year he goes to like a brick and mortar school. COVID hit, which put him back on the computer. So now we got him sitting down at the table, and now he has to write his name over and over and over and over and over again, right?
Is he getting used to it?
He is getting used to it. But what I noticed, he automatically went for the crutch. He was like, I've been in online school for the past 4 years. And it's as sad as it is, it's true. Most of these kids are not, and I think the goal, because they took cursive or handwriting, penmanship, all of that stuff, they don't focus on none of that shit no more. They focus on computer, and that's what it is. It's like, can you type?
Yeah.
But I know how to type and I know how to write cursive, and I went to school the same amount of years that they have, and I really, to be honest with you, I think I'm smarter than most of the kids who go into school now. When I was at their age,
right.
in their grade level, most of these kids are, for lack of better words, and I'm not talking about anyone's kids who are watching, but I am. Most of these kids are stupid. Like, they don't know shit.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is based in the fact that they don't learn it at home because the parents are both busy, and they're not learning it at school because it's not a part of the curriculum.
Yeah.
So I asked the teacher, I said, so, you know, what's up with such and such and so on? So I'm just asking her questions, and she was like, it's not part of our curriculum. So they do this thing where these kids don't even learn how to spell.
Yeah.
How the fuck you not gonna learn how to spell, but you can read?
Yeah.
But you're not gonna teach them how to spell, but you're gonna teach them how to read? The fuck is wrong with y'all? So they never gonna know. Like, if you tell them to write monolith, they can't spell that shit. They sitting up there looking crazy as hell, but they can read it, so they cool with it. But they're not gonna be able to write none of the documents that are going to be able to tell future generations what happened today. They can't write none of that shit, and that's crazy to me.
I heard the doctor on the elevator say, I had to go back and look at my notes, and I couldn't even read my notes. I couldn't even read my handwriting. I'm looking like, dude, you a doctor and you can't even read.
Most doctors can't read their handwriting.
You can't even
anyway.
read your handwriting.
No, most doctors can't read their handwriting.
And it was crazy how it was set up, because you looking at it like you dealing with people all the time.
Yeah, but see, it's not about the handwriting. It's not whether or not they can just because. Okay, so tell me, how many doctors do you know who have excellent penmanship?
It's not a lot of them, too.
All right, so excellent penmanship is not really why they're doctors. It's because of the knowledge that they have, and they can find somebody to transcribe what they have written, but they know how to write.
Yeah.
These kids don't know how to write. Like they're genuinely not teaching them how to write, and they're not teaching them how to spell, and that's a problem.
Yeah.
They teach them how to read, and that's it.
Yeah.
I think it's weird.
I don't know why people like to talk about this girl at my job asked me about you need to give some dating tips. I say I don't like to give dating advice
To
or
who?
just
To women?
you need to get dating tips some of the men, David. I say I don't
I would love for
give
somebody
no.
to help men with dating. I would love it if someone who had aspirations of actually catching, keeping, and making another person happy.
Right.
I would love it if someone gave them dating advice.
They don't now, Tiff. One, they not gonna listen, Tiff. Two, they gonna think they know it all. And three, they don't want to have patience. So the conversation I had with her, and she was like, you need to give some dating tips and everything. I'm like, listen, I don't want to give dating tips because I don't want to seem like I know it all. And I don't want to be trying to advise nobody on something that they want to do or don't want to do.
Okay.
Either you going to want to spend time with the person, you're not going to want to spend time with the person.
I don't think it's necessarily about wanting to spend time with a person, but I think today what I'm seeing is there's a lack of effort on a lot of people's part. One of the things that vexes me personally is for the women, a lot of times a man will take a woman out, and I feel like, or like the video that I saw the other day, the man cooked for the woman and she spazzed on him because he cooked. It takes a whole lot of effort to go in the kitchen, prep food, whatever, and then actually cook for somebody. That's somebody who you like.
Right.
I don't think I would have done that for somebody on a first date, and I'm not really sure about what their disposition is, personality, whatever. I probably would have spent the $40 and took the bitch to Applebee's. And I could be wrong, but that's just me. But he decided he wanted to cook for this girl.
Right.
Now, had she been intelligent, personally, what she would have done was she would have been very appreciative of a man who wanted and took his time to cook for her. So it's one thing for somebody to take you out. It's something completely different for somebody to put that type of effort into doing something specifically for you. And that's one thing. The other thing is courting. Like, people don't court anymore. There's no dating. Everyone wants to have this microwave relationship. So you put it in, 2 minutes later you're married because you already got a baby in a minute and 30 seconds. So at 2 minutes you pop it out and you're married.
Yeah.
And then you wonder how come your relationship don't last, but you don't know the motherfucker who you got into the relationship with. That's another thing. What other dating advice would you give, Dave?
And I had to write it down because she asked me. So between 18 and 35, after you 35, it's a wrap for you. And I told her that, like, after 35, I don't think you can be taught anymore because you're set in your way. So one thing that I would tell guys is date what you like, because majority of men don't date what they like. It's kind of like they settle. So
I date what they can get.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that's number one. I would tell the young guys, if you're gonna shoot your shot no matter what. If you like somebody, approach them in a nice way, and if it don't work, keep it moving. I'm
gonna say something in reference to that in just a couple minutes, but keep going. I'm listening.
You got to have confidence. If your confidence is not on 1,000, I don't think you need to be jumping off the porch. A lot of guys when they dating, your confidence has to be up there, because if it's not, you're gonna get disappointed, and you're gonna get hurt.
Or be a disappointment.
A B.
You know, that too.
B, a disappointment. Go
Or
ahead.
another one is know how to confidence. Brothers who dating have to be able to you have to, brothers who dating, and this is finna go left, between 18 and 25, you got to be in shape. You got to be some kind of fit, like in this I wrote, you have to be able to run 2 miles.
Okay, so let me just say this for the women who like men who are physically fit, that's cool. For women who like dudes who have dad bods, that's cool too. And for the women who like big dudes, that's cool too. I think you have to have an understanding of what you like personally. I think that one of the major things is you cannot be listening to other people and what they like and what they think their standard is, or you're going to find yourself disappointed every fucking time. So it's crazy because, so as a plus size woman,
What's a plus size?
Me, motherfucker.
Tiff, you Tiff.
Yeah, I understand that I'm Tiff.
Don't put a definition on it.
No. Just
okay.
Listen to me first. As a plus size woman,
we don't know what that is.
Okay, so as a curvier woman, is that better?
Why you just can't see it as a black woman?
Because it's not just as a black woman. There are different types of black women too. So anyway, let me finish my thought. As a plus size woman, what I honestly believe is there are men who like specifically or particularly plus size women, right? They like curvier, chunky, thick, whatever the hell it is that you want to call it. They like those women, right? I think a lot of times they listen to other people, especially when they're young, and they tell them that they have to they must be into, you know what I'm saying, this one particular type of woman, because that's what society tells them that they're supposed to like. Especially men who are attractive, that is their thing. What I found being young is, first of all, I am a plus size woman. I'm curvy, thick, whatever the hell you want to call me. Pick one.
You're just a black woman.
But for me, I do have a lot of confidence. I love showing my big ass legs. I'm a woman. Like I don't feel no kind of way. Now am I out here with back fat out and shit like that? Sometimes, mind your fucking business. But that's not the point. The point is, I'm confident within me, and I understand that there is a particular lane that I'm in, and there are particular men who want me because I'm me. Right?
Right.
Okay, right. So I think that instead of somebody saying, oh, well, you got to be in a particular shape. Now, do you need to have stamina? Yeah, you probably need to have some stamina. And that's for anybody.
Yeah.
But do I think it's any particular look? No, I don't think it's any particular look for a person, because everybody is attracted to something different. Do they need to have stamina? Yes, by all means. But do they need to look a particular way? Nah, not really. Because some dudes like ugly women. I was going to say ask my ex-husband.
If that's what they like, I just like when women, like when you say plus size, Tiff. I think when you put them labels, it lowers the confidence down. It just being when women say I'm a plus size woman,
that shit ain't never lowered mine.
You put a label on yourself though.
I put a label on myself because I understand what I am and I'm honest.
Who told you? Like I
know I'm a plus size. I'm not
Beautiful,
skinny.
Like I told
I'm not
Beautiful.
thin.
Who told you was who labeled you Beautiful?
Listen, here's the deal.
They gonna love you though, right?
I'm not no, and listen, I ain't never, and I have to tell y'all this. At the end of the day, this is what I know beyond a shadow of a doubt. I ain't never wanted shit that I ain't been able to touch.
Right.
So plus size, skinny, whatever the hell you want to call it, whatever that is, it is what it is.
Right.
I ain't never wanted nothing that I couldn't have. So any dude that I wanted to date, I've been able to date.
Right.
And it's not me limiting myself. It's me being me. So maybe there's something about me that dudes who like skinny chicks find attractive, or maybe I just have a knack for finding men who find plus size women attractive.
Right.
And I like them, and they like me, and I've been good. I had 2 husbands, and both of them have been unusually attractive, or sort of attractive sometimes. I've never not been able to get what I want.
Right.
And there's a me being younger, I think being plus size was something a little different. You know what I'm saying? Not being thin, not having the flat stomach, not having the skinny, whatever the hell else it is that dudes be wanting. I don't know. Anyway, it was something about plus size women that men didn't like at that point.
Right.
But I still found everything that I liked.
Okay, cool. I just think that men gonna like whatever they gonna like.
I think men like the fact that I'm genuine. And I could be wrong. Maybe they don't. Maybe I'm maybe they think I got low self-esteem. Bro, I don't. I'm not 100% sure, but I've never been in a situation with a man that I liked where I couldn't get what I wanted. So,
and the name of the show is called The Great Reset. And when I was listening, I'll be listening like a whole bunch of stuff and reading a lot of stuff. If I was to reset the black family right now, and we was just to start all over,
okay,
what would be some of the things that, because I had to like write down my things, like what were some of the things that if we was to reset right now, what were some of the things that you would want the black family to do? And when I say reset, we not gonna do it like the way my mother and your mom did it. We got to find better ways to do it. Like one of the ways that I would look at it is like this. Just one of the resets. Women and men, we got to move away from putting men on like child support.
It depends, but go ahead.
Once we because we seen if you put that man on child support, like it's always the woman putting the man on the child support 90% of the time or 80% of the time. So all I'm saying is we know that destroys the black family.
No, it don't. But keep going.
We know that destroys the black family.
The family was already ruined by the time this man is on child support. But you keep going.
But we resetting it. We resetting it.
If the man is in the household, there's no reason to have him on child support. So we
resetting. See, that's them old rules that my mom and them doing. So we writing a new story now.
Okay.
So now is when that woman and that man come together, they become one. Okay. So they're writing up a contract. If the relationship goes further and they want to be together, they're writing up their own contract. They're not dealing with the United States government. Okay. They're gonna write up. Me and you gonna write up a contract. Tiff, if it don't work, I'm gonna go my way. You gonna go your way. We don't involve nobody because we seen once we get in this system, it destroys us. We gonna deal with it on our own because we never dealt with it on our own. We always dealt with that system. That's one of the things that I was looking at. So see, it's a reset, Tiff. So
I get it, and I got my own. Okay, so if we were talking about a reset right now today,
right.
One of the first things that I would like to see as far as the black family would be multi-generational homes. So I would love to see multi-generational homes fully functioning, because in that you have grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, whatever. You have one complete whole family unit. Everybody is accountable and responsible for each other within that household. I would love to see multi-generational homes. That would be part of my reset. Right. Next thing I would do, if I had all control over all things, no emotional or physical abuse, right? That takes a whole lot out of the relationship. Right. And then if you do find yourself going into that path of emotional or physical abuse, you would have to automatically seek treatment because something within you is broken. Okay. Now, next
treatment
thing,
in that system too?
No. Treatment does not have to be within the system of the government. Okay. What it has to be is it has to be had in order for you to be a fully functioning, well-oiled machine of a person. Gotcha. In order for you to function highly, you have to be able to consider therapy
That's
for
in
your
that system.
shortcomings. No, you don't have to
Okay,
be
I got
within
you.
the
Okay,
system.
Okay, I got you. Go ahead. Just because you writing it though, Tiff. So go ahead.
I'm writing it,
Got you.
right. This is me being right and everybody else being fucking wrong.
No. We gonna follow Tiff.
Right. Because why not? I'm smarter than everybody else.
Oh,
Anywho, so I would love to see that's enough of your coughing, Mark. I would love to see multi-generational homes,
Right.
and I would love to see families stick and stay.
Right.
But in order for families to stick and stay, in order for a woman and a man to come together and stay together, you cannot have any of those.
We got to do away with baby mamas too. That's in the system that I'm doing because we can't have like if the relationship.
If it was a fully functioning system, then there are no baby mamas to begin with, because people would discern. First of all, people would be able to discern who they're supposed to have these babies with. If you going out and you sticking your dick in any and everything, then of course you're gonna have a baby mama. But if you are a emotionally intelligent person, then you're not gonna have a baby mama because it's not gonna work out.
Right.
You're gonna be able to discern who that spirit is,
Right,
and then
right.
move from there. But
And in the great reset, once you get your foundation where it needs to be, just for me, you have to have between 5 to 7 kids in this system that I'm writing up in my great reset.
I would have loved to have more babies.
Cool. I mean, because if we have more babies, which is more love, because what I'm trying to do in this great reset, I'm trying to dominate other cultures, and I think that us being melanin and able to come together, and when we make love, when black folks make love, despite whatever go on, when black folks make love, they make some of the most beautiful babies on the earth.
I agree.
And when you look at them babies become wealth. So you don't even need a whole bunch of money. You have the wealth in the kids. So
most people don't understand how to access the wealth out of their children, and I think that's a huge problem too. So I think one of the biggest problems is we have grocery bills, right? But if you knew how to access the wealth out of your children, then you wouldn't have as large of a grocery bill, which means that you could afford more kids and feed more kids.
Right.
But we have grocery bills. That's the reason why most men are not in the household, because we need food stamps. In order to get food stamps, that man's income can't be in the household. In order for that man's income not to be in the household, he can't be there, which means that he has to be on child support, which means that you have to take money out of his household and put it back into the other household, so you can get food stamps and cash assistance. I think the other thing is we need to be pushing more for education, and not the type of education that you probably think. I think we need to push our kids more towards trades. I think in a reset, we would go back to trades as opposed to college.
Right, yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with college. We still need doctors. We still need lawyers. We still need whatever it is, the college engineers, whatever. But I think if we reset, I think pushing our kids or steering them away from collecting college debt, which is another major reason why divorces happen, because of debt. And I think if we reset, we could really push our kids towards something where you make more money and have less debt.
Yeah. And something that they can, like you say, with the trades, if a kid able to do something with their hands, they're unstoppable.
Yeah. And then I think we need to have farming as a trade.
Yeah.
I think people need to know how to grow plants. I think people need to know, I mean, and this is just, if we are talking about really resetting the culture, resetting the culture to me would be us being self-sustained, and we are not capable of being self-sustained because I think we've gotten to a point where either we are too tired or we are too lazy to get up and do some of this shit like farm.
Right.
I think after we picked that last piece of cotton, we was tired. But at the same time, you have to be able to do some of this shit. We don't sew no more.
Yeah.
When is the last time you heard somebody say, you know what, I knitted you a blanket?
My button broke off. I had to sew
I
my
gotta
button on there.
sew it back on. Most people don't even own the needle and thread. When the button breaks, they go buy new pants.
Right.
these are the problems that we have. These are the things that we come up against. And if you want to know the reason why most families don't survive, it's because of those things. You don't have a fully functioning unit because the man doesn't know how to do certain things. Like, men don't know how to change tires. That's the craziest shit in the world to me. I don't know how to change a tire, but I'd be damned if my man can't change one.
I think a lot of men know how to change tires.
I think a lot of men don't know how to use a fucking jack.
Mark, you know, I use a jack, right? I know.
It's a lot of men out here who don't know how to use jacks. And I want you to consider the new generation coming up now, the Ubers.
Yeah.
If they ever get a car, ever,
right,
they're not gonna know how to change a tire, let alone put gas in the bitch. I'm telling you, when
put gas in the car,
we raising a generation of fucking idiots. They don't know how to do shit.
I think the kids know. You're right. You could be right, Tiff. You could be right. I don't.
Who know how to change a tire?
I know a lot of kids.
I'm talking about beyond or below our generation. How many of these kids know how to change tires? And these are the ones who you're gonna entrust your daughter. One day you're gonna entrust your daughter to a nigga who can't change a tire.
As soon as he comes to the house, I need you to come here. Let me go outside.
But how come he didn't learn that at home?
If he didn't learn,
where's the fully functioning male adult in his household who was supposed to teach him how to change a tire, mow the lawn? They don't know how to do nothing that don't require they 2 fingers to do it. If it's not a video game, these motherfuckers is retarded.
Yeah.
What's going on, Carla? Hey, y'all act like y'all forgot the hand signals and shit.
I did.
But what's going on, Carla? Who is this and where you calling from?
Anime check.
No.
Hey, G.
Get your ass up out of here.
What's going on?
Anime check. Anime check.
Anime check, you know what I'm saying? I want to touch on that topic today. We're talking about the AI.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all remember a couple years ago, they had 2 mechanical AI heads talking. And remember, on live TV, they started their own language right there on the spot.
I don't remember.
And that was when they first started up. You can Google it.
How long ago was this, G?
Send me the video, G.
It was. I'll send it. It's on YouTube. I'll find this in to y'all.
It was a couple years ago.
They were talking normal. You also maybe 4 or 5 years ago. We're talking when they first started touching the scene. They were talking like we're talking right now, and then all of a sudden you see them. It was like their faces start changing up, whatever, and then all of a sudden they start speaking their own language.
What language is this? They just made some
They
language.
made it up.
Oh wow.
They made it up, and they knew what they were talking about, so they had to disconnect it live on the live. Yeah, so that's why I don't. AI is cool, but I don't trust it. But I know that's gonna be the next thing.
Yeah.
You think about it's in cars now, it's in phones, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
What about the
And
baby
it's going-
pods?
Baby
I think
pod,
that's
yep.
next. The baby pods are gonna be next. Women are not gonna be
Yeah.
required to carry babies, and men are gonna be able to have them because they gonna do a uterine transplant. These goddamn trannies is serious out here, nigga.
Yeah, they are. That's next.
Transformers.
It's gonna be
Transfinancial.
Trans financials.
Slide that right there in there, G.
Listen, all of it to me is kind of crazy, and I think the reason why it rings so crazy to me is because we look back and do you remember when Terminator came out and everybody is sitting there like, oh, that shit'll never happen. But do you remember what was the movie where they had the sick monkey? The monkey came and gave everybody the cooties. It's pretty much what's going on right now as far as COVID was concerned. Outbreak. Thank you. The outbreak monkey.
Yeah.
So you remember when that movie came out and everybody like, oh yeah, that shit ain't gonna happen. What the fuck do you think is gonna happen?
I mean, and it literally like down to the T happened. Like, 'cause, you know, a couple of years before COVID, and what was it, Pennsylvania, when the monkeys got loose from the damn research facility or some shit, like the truck had flipped over and and then the motherfucker went up there, tried to touch the monkey and got bit and got sick, and then a year later we got COVID.
Hello?
All AI stuff.
Hello?
I tell y'all.
So y'all, the
All
next
AI.
thing is Terminator. Build y'all one of them goddamn what's that thing in the dirt? You got to put in the dirt so you have some place to live. Because AI is coming to get you. I'm not getting on that shit.
AI is coming.
AI is coming to get you.
It's
Say
coming.
that shit. It's coming to get you. And the trannies is going to get uteruses and titties because they going to be able to produce
They already
milk.
got titties.
Well, no. They going to have milk producing ones, though.
Oh, that's gonna be disgusting. It's gonna be all curdled and shit.
No, because it's going to come from a bag, but it's going to come out their breast.
Oh, that's disgusting.
That's
I
my
ain't gonna
idea.
hold y'all lines up no more. I just want to call and say what's up. You know, let y'all know I'm still here and
AI
watching.
titties.
Thank you, G. Thank you. Get well,
Oh,
guys.
All right, G, feel
I'm
better.
trying. Thank y'all. Y'all have a good one.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what I'll be looking like. Like when I be looking at certain stuff and I be reading certain stuff. My reset is always trying to do away with the old way of what was already done. Try to come up with another way because it seemed like whatever way that's like what they're doing right now with Cash App, and
They about to get rid of
they're
it.
about to get rid of Cash App and come out with
Fed money.
Now.
Fed now. That's what it was. I said Fed money.
and I'm like,
That sounds like a rapper.
What's going on, Carla? Who's this and where you calling from?
Travis. Oh, this
That's
brother
Julius.
Julius, man, calling
What's
from Maryland.
happening?
What's up, y'all?
how you
what's
feel,
Hey,
going
good man?
Julius.
I'm good. How y'all feeling out here?
Real good.
Awesome.
Good. So first off, let me touch on the topic of the subject, man. This would be my reset. If I had it my way, I would take away from all these creatures their guns, their money, their means of communication. They can't get in no contact with any melanated female, and last but not least, they could never, ever have access to any fucking form of technology. That'd be my great reset.
That'll shut everything
That'd be
down.
awesome.
That'd be sweet, Julius.
Send them
That'd-
back to caveman days. Fires. Let them start
no.
fires.
No. See, that's the thing. When we think of cave, we actually think about the actual Jesus mythical fucking story, as opposed to thinking about Buckingham Palace. That's
Right.
the cave. You see what I'm saying? So these things, and also let me touch back on what G Finch just also mentioned, man, with those two AI robots. That was 8 years ago when they did that press conference in somewhere in California. I want to say San Diego, but those things that we think that are actually potential dangers, they really not. We actually giving them the information from the questions that we ask ourselves every day, but just by plugging it into them. So all this talk about the Terminator and other particular systems that be out here and play, demons are always going to be in your hand if you want to accept the fact that we communicating through them.
Right.
But in the same instance, if that demon is in your hand, you have to understand exactly what you're dealing with, because the central nervous system of that thing still comes from someplace that came through that womb. Are we clear, Tiffany? I want to be clear when I say that.
Oh, well, you know what, Julius? You are clear. I'm sorry. I went off somewhere else. My mind was somewhere else. Anyway,
And-
no, I
and that's
understand
why
what
I
you're
stopped.
saying. Yeah, I understand what
Yeah.
you're saying.
Yeah, I wanted to be clear with you and Brother David, because at the end of the day, when we putting our genius back into this planet for what we need to see, sometimes we also got to give those other children what they got to have as well.
Right.
Some kids are good at seeing artistic things through the visual aid. Sometimes a child can hear what you're saying and be like, all right, I get it. Or, whatever. But as parents, I'm not an official parent yet, but as parents, you got to be able to at least spread that knowledge and wealth in such manners where no child is left behind. I'll say it like that.
Right.
Okay.
I hear you, George Bush.
Okay, so to that I shall agree. So raising 3 different kids, I realized that all of my kids kind of learn different, which is a great thing. So being able to teach somebody visually, being able to teach somebody who's more auditory, being able to teach somebody who needs to touch and see and watch something move in order to learn is a wonderful thing. My biggest problem is they don't do that in schools.
They can't, because the funding is supposed to be made to that I keep you dumbfounded. See, I want a useless eater in order to come in and work my fields for me. But that cotton that's being picked is still being turned over to your estate because you're doing the labor and work, i.e. that is, I'm going to use the social security of people around me so that I can get the benefits that I need from this particular industry that I'm practicing in. I'll say it like that. I'm sorry to cut your wisdom, Tiffany. Go ahead.
No. I definitely understand where you're coming from. We are having a cohesive conversation. I like this, Julius. So I understand what you're saying. So basically, the reason why I say that is because when you get people who are like that, you kind of cater to the people who are auditory. So the people who pick up what you say and do what you say. The thing that I had to do as far as my kids were concerned is I kind of had to look at them and I had to say, oh, okay, well, this is what I need to do in order to be able to teach my kid. In a great reset, one of the things that I would do, I would put mothers back in home. I know it's cool for women to be out in the world working and things like that, but I think one of the things that our kids are definitely missing is having that mother in the household. I think it takes away from our kids when we are made to work, personally. Because we miss a lot of things that our kids need. Now, if it's the husband who needs to be in the household, that's all fine and well, whatever. But I think there has to be a parent in the household in order for our kids to function completely and to become complete people, because nobody is going to invest in your children the way that you're going to invest in your children. As a mom, myself personally, I think my kids flourished more when I was a stay-at-home mother. Once I went back into the workforce, which my ex-husband really didn't want. He hated the idea of me going back to work. But we had made an agreement. If I got the job that I got now, which was ultimately one of the reasons why we divorced, if I got the job that I got now, then I would be able to work, which stopped me from connecting with my children on a completely different level. Now, there is work that women can do from home, which is completely essential. But I also think that in order for women to go back into the household and come out of the workforce, men have to be prepared to pick up what we're missing, which is another thing that's has to be a part of that reset. Is men have to be prepared to be the protector, provider of their household, but they have to have a way of being able to provide. And one of the ways that men can be able to provide is by us going back to trades, because most of them, working at McDonald's ain't really gonna help us. It's not going to generate enough money for our kids to be okay.
Okay, I see what you mean. That's understandable. Okay. So if we put all these systems into play, if we put these coaches into play that we got and then come up with the particular system that we need, how are we going to balance it out to make it feasible to say to the fuck the world, to the universe now, like, look, we got it together, we cool. What are we going to do after that? That's my question I want to ask you now. What's the thing after that? Because now everything is pretty much cool. What's up? What's up?
Yeah, I think once you get to a point, because so if we have to be reasonable about a situation, I think the reason why we go to work is to be able to survive and feed our kids and put as much of the good stuff into our kids as is humanly possible. I think if one of the parents is in the home, it actually makes the kids more responsible for the shit that they need to learn in order to be able to flourish later on in life. If one of the parents has a trade, then that's something that they can pass on to their children. It doesn't become just a trade. It becomes something that we teach our kids generationally. So we talk about generational curses, which is really a lot of that is bad habits that we fucking teach our kids. That's the generational curse. The generational curse is not where somebody came in and they said abracadabra or whatever. It's the bad shit that we teach our kids. So if we stop teaching our kids the bad shit, if one of the parents is in the home, both of them are level-headed, both of them have learned to be emotionally intelligent, then we come with a better product, which is something that they carry on to their kids and they carry on to their kids. One of the biggest problems that I think we have in the United States is the fact that we were taught in trauma. We formed trauma bonds with other people. And then that's the reason why we have so many kids out here who don't have fathers, because these are trauma bonded ass relationships. They're not healthy.
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't
the-
find
that's
out
the-
how to have a healthy relationship until I got grown, and my kids were my primary concern. It wasn't chasing behind a nigga. I had to be responsible for human life, which meant that I wanted to put the absolute best into my children. I didn't want my kids to experience me in a relationship where we're not flourishing, where we're not building, where we are literally bonded by trauma. I wanted my kids not to grow up with the generational curses. It's like diabetes. They think diabetes is hereditary. No, diabetes is based in tradition. We feed our kids diabetes. We feed our kids high blood pressure. We feed our kids, and this is the shit that happens. What you eat during pregnancy translates through the placenta, correct?
Of course.
It translates. So if you're eating bullshit during pregnancy and then you come out with this kid who's type 1 diabetic, well, where the fuck do you think it came from? You bullshitted the entire time, and now you have a kid who has. So not only as far as nutrition is concerned, but we produce kids who eat bullshit when we put good period.
So let me ask y'all this real quick.
Yeah.
So where will we move to? Because
You don't go nowhere. You don't
He,
where you shouldn't be. Everybody wants to run over here, and then they can leave and go back home whenever they so choose. When this shit really does happen, if it ever allegedly does happen, stay right here and use the brain and use what God told you to use, the word. And it's right there in that Bible, okay? So that's how you're going to persecute whatever it is that's going to go down. This whole running away and all this other shit, I didn't mean it like that. What I said was this: when you want to go ahead and understand your African mind, going back to Africa, I meant by you going back and understanding exactly what was your family lineage and bloodline like. Okay, that's what I meant by returning back home to Africa. I did not mean for you to go there and live there. It's cool to visit, but you have to sit there and understand, because we planted the tree right here with that woman's placenta that's in the ground 6 feet and under. That child has now produced a tree that will bear fruit. Do you understand the life that you have given here on this planet?
okay, so I understand where you're coming from. I'm not one to run from pressure either. However, I think the reason why Dave is asking the question that he's asking is because we have Lake Lanier's, we have Tulsa, Oklahoma's. Every time as a community of people who are rational, and I'm not just gonna say a black community, I'm not gonna say a white community, I'm gonna say of people who are rational, people who understand that we can live together in harmony. But we can't allow a whole lot of outsiders in. I think the reason why Dave asked the question that he asked is because every time we formulate a thriving community, you do have outsiders who come in and infiltrate, and they essentially destroy the community that we create. So why wouldn't we want to be somewhere where they don't have access? I want a Wakanda full of rational
and I'm
people.
talking about moving out. Like, it's some place in the United States you can just, like, the group of thinkers, like the way we thinking, we just move to somewhere else. And because what'll happen is, if we around people don't think like you
would have to bury yourself underground in order for that shit to work. And the only reason why I say real talk, think about it for a second. Every fucking time we have had a thriving community within the United States,
it always got infiltrated.
It's always infiltrated. The only way for us not to be infiltrated and attacked the way that we have been attacked, we would have to have some kind of a mountain compound.
Yeah.
We would have to have some kind of a underground system like they do on them goddamn apocalypse games. Like, at the end of the day, that's kind of what we need. If you looking to keep,
okay, but we can't run. We can't run from the moon.
We not
can't
running,
run from
Julius.
the sun.
No.
What I'm saying is this. Brother. What I'm saying is this. When we put a fortress together, and there is some type of crack in the foundation somewhere, all you have to do is understand that crack is necessary. There's no perfection on this planet. The only perfection that's ever existed was the universal force. And that force has allowed us to come down here and speak to Church Hugs, speak to Mr. Detroit, have Mark have these. I'm not talking about the fictional stuff.
No, I'm talking about
exactly
God.
about. Oh yeah. I'm talking about what it is that has been given. Now, if that fortress ever does show up again, like it has in London or wherever else, the only thing you really need to do is just teach your children, like, hey, that's just a place where we all meet up and discuss these particular ideas that we have. But
see,
everything else is free range.
But see,
It has to be.
I think the reason why we kind of come against the things that we do is because, I mean, and I understand there's always going to be bad seeds. But where do you put the bad seeds to keep them the fuck away from the good seeds? To keep them from
No. You put the seeds with the seeds, period. Because at the end of the day, if that tree never got a chance to be next, I'm telling you.
You gonna have them weeds, Julius.
No. If I don't have no weeds, then I can't have no dandelion to fix this particular element that's going on with that person that has a liver problem.
All right, so let me go ahead and kick this one to you real quick. Have you ever heard the parable of the wheat and the tares?
No, I have not.
Okay.
No,
So, have you heard the parable of the house that was built on sand?
I have.
Okay,
I have.
so this one is just another one of the parables that they talk about. So they talk about growing your wheat and your weeds at the same time, right? This is what we doing now. We growing our wheat and our weeds at the same time. When you go in and you pull your wheat and you uproot your wheat, and you gonna uproot the weeds too, right? You can't keep the wheat with the weeds. And I understand that weeds have a place. That's the reason why you let them grow together. But you can't keep your wheat with your weeds. So they took the wheat and they put it into a barn. They took the weeds and they cast it in the fire. That's the parable of the wheat and the tares. What it's basically saying is you can allow it to come up together because you have to. There are going to be weeds where there are plants. There are going to be weeds where there is wheat, whatever. But what you can't do is allow the weeds to stay with the wheat. You cannot keep the good with the bad. It's never going to fucking work. You have to be able to decipher and discern what is for the best and what's not.
Right.
I always say, listen, and this go for black people too. I always say, if I had my optimal situation, right, we would get on the boat, go to an island, and anybody who wasn't worth taking wouldn't get taken, right? When you get to the island, anybody who ain't worth keeping is going to be cast into the sea.
Yeah. Well, we had that situation already when we saw that nigga just bury me in the fucking ocean with my ancestors because they knew that death was better than bondage. But yet and still, here come the people from Wakanda Forever out to sea and shit. You see?
That's
you
a
see?
movie.
No,
and I understand
these translations. I understand what you're talking about, but to go into depth as to what he was talking about, he wasn't saying that he wanted to live underwater. He was saying that it was better to be dead than it was to live as a slave, to be enslaved.
Yeah.
I get that.
So
part.
he didn't know that it was people living in the sea. None of them knew. What he said was, he said that it's better to be dead than to be in enslavement. He would rather be dead than to go to prison. He would rather be dead than to be shackled. He wasn't saying that it was better to let me go and live as a fucking fish. They didn't know the fish people was there.
Yeah.
I get it. But I can't keep throwing everybody off the boat.
I want to throw everybody off the boat. Fuck them.
Yeah. Hey, Julius, I
y'all,
thank
man.
you
Y'all
for
be
this
good out there.
enlightenment, man. I love you, man.
Love y'all too, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, stay up.
All right. Tiff, thank you.
You are welcome.
Everything was beautiful today. Mark, thank you, good brother. And that's just the reset right there, Tiff. I like the way that that you, Julius, and everything broke everything down, because I think it's gonna come to tuition and everything about how we go about doing things. And like Tiff said, some people we got to kill the weeds, Tiff.
Facts.
That's the only way that, because if you keep them around, we never gonna prosper. I'm saying you got to burn the weed. You got to destroy the weed.
I'll say this real fast, and then I know we gotta go. But there has never been a point in time where there has not been things that we were going to come against, even in a society where we think it's a utopian society. Even in that instance, there are going to be outliers. There are going to be people who are going to do bad things, whatever. But you got to understand that when they do bad things, they have to be gotten rid of. One of the best things that they do in some cultures is shunning. Get rid of the bullshit and keep everything good. I love y'all.
And we'll see y'all next week. Detroit Stand Up.
You
Warning.
are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio.